And if you've not registered for IDAN, I implore us to register today because, as we can see, there are a lot of benefits to it. And I'm also, I reap from the benefits of it. So you can also go out to have some refreshments before the show fully starts. And one thing for sure that I know is that we are going to have a very interactive sessions. Very interactive sessions. And I really want us to be very interactive as well, to interact with the panelists, ask questions. If you have answers to, or if you have a take, you can as well be interactive, because I'm sure some of us are here today with our questions. Some of us have some ideas, and we just want to fine tune it and brush it up. So this is a very good space and spot to do that. So why are we here today? Today is World Interiors Day, and it is special to celebrate all designers across the world in Nigeria. And this is an imagined structure in the country today, because I'm sure 10, 15 years ago there's nothing like this. And we have beautiful faces, beautiful mind creatives, people with ideas trying to showcase what we have in this country, our talents, and how we see the world. So I really appreciate everyone coming here today. And DSC Smith, I see you. I love your dress. I love your dress. So before we start the whole stuff running, I will say something for sure. You can ask me what it is. So what it is we kick the show by introducing the president, not the founder anyway, of IDAN. She will join us on the stage shortly to engage every one of us, so we can move ahead with the whole program. And another thing I know, we won't leave here the same. And that's for sure. We won't leave here the same. So I'm particularly early, so I can engage with every one of us and get ideas, brush up mine, and see the world in a better way than I've seen before. So looking at this building, this Alliance Francaise building, when design was being created then, I had the opportunity to have have one or two views about it. When the architect presented it to, I think, Cobblestones are developers of this place. I saw it. I made a note or two concerning the design. Do you understand? And I'm happy today that I'm here in this building today, and those changes were made effective, and it's so beautiful. So we'll return to the show shortly. Can we just...
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. First of all, we'd like to apologize for our late start. My name is Titi Fora. I'm the current treasurer of the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria. It's nice to see some familiar faces and some new faces, so welcome. Our apologies for starting late. Mother Nature decided today was a good day for rain. So, and you know how that gets in Lagos. Rain means traffic, means delays. So, but thank you to everyone that showed up on time. We really appreciate that. Before we kick off, I'd like to invite everybody to start with the, we have a small reception, and I'd like to invite everybody to help themselves to some refreshments, to some tea and coffee. So we're going to have the morning networking session, so to speak. Please introduce yourselves to people. And as much as we're here to listen to talks, we're also here to network, get to know one another, know who does what, who they are, how long they've been doing it for, how we can collaborate, and things like that. At the registration desk, which if you have not registered, I'll ask you to please register. We have a little basket. Please drop your business cards in there for us as well. We'd like to stay in touch to get to know you better and for you to get to know IDAN better. So once again, welcome to this year's celebration of World Interiors Day. And it's a pleasure to be here knowing that the world over, interior design professionals are celebrating alongside with us as well. So thank you for being here, and let's start with some refreshments, some networking, and let's get to know each other better. Thank you.
We will turn it into our icebreaker. Yeah, so that's our icebreaker for today. Yes. Sorry, what's the first slide? So I can now start, and you guys will continue. Okay, you can start it for me. God bless you. Please, can we get a mic over to her? Let her start it. Because honestly, I don't even know it. I don't know it. Okay. Yes, please. Can we get a mic over? Sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, your voice. Okay, she has the mic there. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reigns. In peace or battle honored, that we may count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed.
With peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Whoa, nice one. That's in line with our theme. We're bridging the gap in interior design in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Before you have a seat, please do stand. Can you turn this way, please? Yes, I want to engage the crowd. Can you stretch your hands? Put your hand on the next person's shoulder. You're going to give them a massage. Some of you have not been to a spa in a long time. You work too hard, interior designers. I can see the men smiling. Unfortunately, there are men behind men behind men. So if you don't like your partner, you can swap. So please massage their back. No, massage. Okay, once you're done, turn the other way and massage the other person, and they'll massage you. Be careful who you massage. Don't massage another person's wife. Okay, thank you very much. Please have a seat. Thank you very much. Okay, so at least we're good. Some people are still rubbing. Hello, Interstyle. We're done. Yeah, sponsor. You now want to. Okay, so welcome everybody, and sorry we're running late. I guess it's the traffic and the rain, but we thank you very much for coming. So on behalf of the National Executive Council and Board of Trustees of IDEN, it's with immense pleasure and pride that I address you today, our distinguished interior designers and esteemed colleagues in the build industry, as we celebrate World Interiors Day today. This occasion provides us with a remarkable opportunity to reflect on our profession's impact and to envision the future of interior design. This year's theme, which is bridging the gap in the multi-generational and creating a multi-generational future, is both timely and profound. It speaks to the heart of our responsibility as designers to create spaces that not only reflect the aesthetic aspirations of our time, but also meet the functional needs of people across all ages. As interior designers, we have the unique privilege and duty to share environments that foster connection, inclusivity, and well-being. Our designs must transcend the present moment, anticipating the needs of the future generation while honoring the legacy of those who came before us. So in designing a multi-generational future, we need to begin to look at inclusive design. We must embrace inclusive design principles, ensuring that our spaces are accessible and welcoming to people of all ages and abilities. This includes thoughtful consideration of mobility, sensory needs, and comfort. We also need to look into sustainable practices. Our designs should prioritize sustainability, ensuring that we leave a positive environmental legacy. By using eco-friendly materials, energy-efficient systems, and sustainable practices, we can create spaces that support a healthier planet for future generations. We also need to begin to think about timeless aesthetics. While trends come and go, the essence of good design is timeless. We should strive to create spaces that blend contemporary style with classic elements, ensuring they remain relevant and appealing across generations. Most importantly, we also need to look at technological integration. The integration of technology in our designs must be thoughtful and forward-thinking. From smart home systems to adaptive lighting and climate control, we need to ensure our spaces are equipped to evolve with technological advancements. Cultural sensitivity is also another key factor we need to also look into. Our designs should reflect our cultural heritage and diversity, reflecting the rich tapestry of our society. By incorporating traditional elements and local craftsmanships, we need to begin to create spaces that resonate with our sense of culture. So today, while we celebrate the remarkable talent and creativity within our profession, we should also remember we're custodians of our spaces where lives unfolds. From homes and offices to public spaces of leisure and places of leisure, our work has the power to transform lives and enhance experiences and foster community. As we look to the future, Let us commit to continuing our professional development, staying abreast of emerging trends and technologies, and always striving for excellence in our craft. Together, we can design a future that bridges generations, create environments that nurture and inspire and endure. So in closing, I want to extend my heartfelt thank you to all of you for your dedication and passion for interior design. Your contributions are invaluable in shaping a better and more beautiful world. Let us use today to reaffirm our commitment to success, excellence, innovation, and inclusivity. Thank you, and let us continue to inspire and be inspired. Happy World Interiors Day, everyone. And let's have a fantastic day today. Thank you.
Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, yeah. La, 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 la.
So we are moving on to the next program, which is Conversations in Design. So the moderator will be Item Vice President, Ms. Frida Anegbe.
Architecture, University of Jos. So we'll be starting with Professor Procknell Ogunshote. I'm going to be reading her bio, and then there is a video presentation from her. Professor Procknell Ogunshote Oguslawor is a professor of architecture in the Faculty of Environmental Sciences, University of Jos, Nigeria, since 2009. She holds a PhD degree in architecture from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria, 1994. She has chaired the architecture schools in the Federal University of Technology, Akure, and the University of Jos, and has served as a Deputy Dean of Faculty of Environmental Sciences, University of Jos. She has contributed to the training of over 2,000 students to master's level, having taught and supervised more than 50 different theory and studio courses in 4 federal universities over the last 39 years. She has over 90 publications and has designed about a dozen university buildings. She has supervised several PhDs in architecture. Among her publications are books, journal articles, chapters in book of readings, and poster presentations. She made oral and poster presentations at International Union of Architects, World Congress Tokyo 2011, and published in Proceedings of UAIA Congress in Durban in 2014. Professor Procknell Ogunshote is a leading expert in modern architecture of Nigeria and in sustainable architecture. She has received the Knight's Cross of the Order of Merit of the Republic of Poland for the outstanding achievements in the field of modern architecture and for the contributions to Polish diaspora presented to her by the Polish president in Abuja, Nigeria in 2022. She was a vice chairman, Association of Architectural Educators in Nigeria, ACHIS. She was a member of Technical Advisory Committee, TAC, of the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, a member of ArchiBuild Seminar Subcommittee, and others. She has attended several external examiner and assessor to several federal and state universities. She has been a resource person to the NUC as a member and as a chairman of an accreditation team. She has been a reviewer of core curriculum and minimum academic standards for the Nigerian university system. She's married to Professor Olu Ola Ogunshote, an architect, and they are blessed with 2 children who are also architects. Amazing. So it's with great honor that I would welcome Professor Prognal Ogunshote. We have some questions, and she's going to be answering them, although they are pre-recorded. But as I ask the questions, so she's going to answer. So my first question for Professor Prognal Ogunshote is understanding how different generations want to interact with buildings is integral to providing successful spaces, no matter what sector of the building industry, be it the real estate, architecture, or design sector you're operating in. Quality, convenience, flexibility, and placemaking are all key differentiators that should be incorporated in every design and real estate strategy to be part of the next wave of generational shifts and demand. However, the overall focus needs to be on providing the best and most inclusive design experience possible. So my first question to Professor Ogunshote would be, what are the advantages or disadvantages of modern technology on design or design features?
My name is Professor Bogdan Prognal Ogunshote of the Department of Architecture, University of Jos. Thank you for having me here at the World Interiors Day organized by Interior Designers Association of Nigeria. Modern technologies have great impact on design. Years back, popular was technology transfer, making use of new solutions applicable in other sectors, but adapted to the needs of architecture and interior design. The present brings wide array of solutions, from the integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning to the immersive experiences offered by artificial reality and virtual reality. Among other most trending technologies that affect interior design are 3D printing technologies, cloud computing, that basically means storing data through the internet and using designated platforms to do that. Mobile apps that are used now by many companies. The effects of modern technology on design or design features has both positive and negative aspects. In case of use of digital drawings, the good thing is that the tedious, time-consuming process of manual sketching has become replaced by the ease of digital drawings. As per the 3D printing technologies, the technology revolutionized the manufacturing of interior design elements and are used in printing furniture, lighting, fixtures, and decorative elements, not only showcase unique designs, but also contribute to sustainable practices by minimizing material waste. The disadvantages of the two mentioned technology is the high initial costs. The advantage of quick access to information, easy communication, and collaboration with professional colleagues. The technology is used in all aspects of life, as well as in designs and features. The distance barrier is broken by internet connectivity.
All right.
The disadvantages are distraction and time consumption.
All right.
Facilitated learning. The positive fact is that millennials reach out to the internet for answers to their work-related problems concerning design and design features, while Generation Z is completely immersed with the modern technologies as a way of lifestyle and way of working, and there is nothing bad to mention about it. Time management. The use of computers can lead to poor time management, with the work hours extending well beyond prescribed.
Thank you. Thank you. So our second question would be, okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, what I just got is that modern technology has overhauled the consumer experience to meet the expectations, which is amazing. So thank you, Professor. The second question I would love to ask you is, what do you think designers need to start looking out for or incorporating into spaces to cater for the emerging generation while still making provision for the older generation? Thank you. No, Professor Ogunshote. The second question for Professor Ogunshote. Hello? Can you hear me? Professor Ogunshote.
Addressing the future development. The new generations, millennials and Generation Z, are known for different lifestyles with a better work-life balance. This demands a specific design decisions for indoor and outdoor spacing, providing for exercise, recreation, and provision for more relaxation. It also demands spaces for group interactions, since computer users may get socially isolated. They do not need to leave their homes to do some shopping. Payment for amenities and other bank transactions are conducted easily with the use of apps. If finally the isolated persons leave the comfort of their homes, they should have easy access to the environment, promoting social interactions. Within the building, there should be intentionally designed niches which can encourage some gatherings while not being an obstacle on somebody's way. The main pedestrian circulation will remain smooth and not interrupted, while specially designed and designated spaces will visually connect the user with the immediate environment. Within the homes, personalized workstations will be needed for individuals who work remotely. They will need fast routers, printing and scanning stations to conduct their work. Coronavirus pandemic accelerated the demand for people working online. There is a demand for a very elegant but effective workstation, since the environment may be publicly viewed by internet users in the course of video interactions. The priorities are changing, and a car ownership is not as important as internet connectivity, which is essential for the millennials and Generations Z. The Uber or Bolt can be ordered easily using apps. Topmost important is the computing capability of their gadgets and access to apps. The new lifestyle is reflected in spaces that are to cater for new needs. A good example of the new arrangement of spaces is the University of Jos Library at Bauchi Road campus that reflect the spirit of change. All changing game elements are put in place in the reading areas, which is basically a big hall, but the choice of furniture and its arrangement make the difference. This is combined with the color combinations, the shapes, the fabric textures. The seating arrangement is very relaxed and very diversified. Sometimes
All right, thank you. Okay. All right, thank you, Prof. So the third question would be, how do we take full advantage of the experiences that the newer generations tend to prefer without neglecting the needs of the older generation? That's quite similar to the previous question, but we just want to know how we can take full advantage of the experiences that the new generation tends to prefer without neglecting the needs of the older generation. Thank you.
the benefits of modern technologies. The new generations are more technology oriented. The benefits of using new technologies can also be extended to the older generations. The internet enables economic growth. Amazon company, Konga, Jumia, and Kara are good examples of online marketplaces. Though the sector is relatively new, a local web portal can be created. A web portal is a site that functions as a point of access to information on the World Wide Web. Portals present information from diverse sources in a unified way. The use of web portals makes searches for information easier and faster, while the integration of online communities into portals promotes academic discourse, social interaction, and e-commerce. A web portal, also known as a web hub or internet portal, is a website that acts as a gateway to a type of product, an activity, a profession, a business process, an industry, or any one of a multitude of subjects. It is domain specific because it can concentrate on interior design, and it is regional because it can contain local content from Nigeria. Local procedures, local producers of fixtures and fittings can use the portal for trading and exchange of information. The end users may have easier access to the resources. These are places where people go to get information, to chat, to send emails, shop online, and form online communities. Apart from building strong online communities, facilitating exchange of ideas and amenities here can also be physical shared spaces. All generations can benefit from shared spaces that promote interaction and that help to build relationships between residents or occupants of spaces. The residents can highly benefit from the economic of scale by gaining access to more goods for an affordable price. Economies of scale help to optimize the gains when production goes on.
All right, thank you so much. I'm sure we're able to get one or two things from what Professor Gunshote said about the importance of application of modern technology in design, and how that even as we're designing for the future, we should also keep in mind that we have the older generation that has to benefit from our designs. And so our next panelist is Professor Dolapo Amole, She's a professor in the Department of Architecture, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria. She had a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate in architecture at the same university. She has been teaching architecture for over 30 years, and in 2019, she started the first degree interior design program in Nigeria. This was in response to the increasing demand for qualified interior design professionals in Nigeria. Professor Dolapo is a passionate design educator. She's currently the coordinator of the Masters in Interior Design program in the department. She has been involved in curriculum development for many years. She developed the curriculum for interior design and was the team leader of the currently revised curriculum in architecture in the department. She served on a team of the National Universities Commission, NUC, for developing the curricula of the design discipline. Professor Dolapo Amole, PhD, also has had a vast experience in gender mainstreaming, having been a core member of the university's gender mainstreaming activities. She is also a seasoned workshop facilitator who has facilitated many workshops in gender mainstreaming, grantsmanship, and monitoring and evaluation. Professor Dolapo is professionally registered with the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria, ACAN. She's also a member of the Association of Architectural Educators in Nigeria. She's an alumnus of HARS, South Africa, a gender network in higher education, Stellenbosch University, South Africa, and IHS, the Institute of Housing Studies, Netherlands. She's a member of the editorial board and reviewer for international and local journals. She has published over 50 journal articles, mostly in the areas of post-occupancy evaluation, student housing, health and housing, gender and housing, and environment behavior. Welcome, Professor Dolapo, and we're so honored and happy to have you. And thank you for your investment in the design industry. Would love to hear from you. I know you have a slide presentation. I think we can put that up now. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, good. I hope I can. Do I have the floor? Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon. Yes, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. So nice to be with you. I wish I could have been with you physically, but I'm
so you can share the slide. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah, good afternoon. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Okay, so nice to be with all of you. It's a pleasure, and I'm glad you're able to organize this, even though you had limited time. I want to congratulate everybody on this occasion of the World Interiors Day. I hope we have a nice time today. Let me see if I can now share. I still can't share my slides, but I'm just going on to say hello to everybody and wishing us a good time out today. Well, I'll be talking about something similar to what Freda has just questioned Professor Ogunshote about. I decided that I'll just focus on the millennials and the baby boomers and the issues involved in designing for them, but not only with designing for them, with dealing with them generally in the context of design, teaching them, mentoring them, doing business with them. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'll share now. Just a minute, yes. Okay. Okay, can you see my slides now? Okay, good. Thank you. I've been told that I have 20 minutes, and that's just it's just enough. So I'll just go through it. So I'll be talking about designing multi-generational spaces. In this slide, in this short presentation, I mean, my whole aim is just to unearth the issues and some of the challenges we'll be facing while designing, having to design for two generations or different generations. But let me say something first. The first thing is that most of us might actually belong to the millennials or probably even the Gen Zs. And while some of us belong to the baby boomers and Gen X. But whichever one we belong to, I think it's just important to be conscious of who we're designing or the context that we're designing for. I also must say that most of what we have learned have been design tips, design issues, the ways of designing for mostly the Gen X. That is those that are in their middle ages. So don't let me go too fast. Let me just go on to the slides. But that's just like a preamble. Now, first I'll talk about this just as a reminder of what we're talking about, the generational categories and the gaps, and why it's important to address it, and then actually look at these gaps. I mean, these gaps and some ways to bridge it up by looking at designing for people generally, designing spaces generally, and then designing the workplace especially. I'm focusing on that, and then working with different generations, given the different lifestyles, and then the issues or the gaps with teaching, mentoring different generations, and then there'll be a quick wrap up. So yeah, when we talk about generations, we talk about the baby boomers. They're the oldest. They are probably about to retire between ages 59 to 78. We also talk about the Gen X. Those are about ages 40 to 50 to 60. I think most of you, maybe more, not so, fall into that. I fall above that. The millennials, those are the ones that form a new generation that is coming up between 27 and 42. Maybe most of you fall within that, and you see the gaps clearly. And then the Gen Z, who are the people that were actually born into the digital age. They were born, they didn't see anything else, anything different. So many millennials still had to learn. They might not have been born into it, but they had to learn. Maybe in their early first decade or so. But for the Gen X, they had to learn the new technologies, and as well as the baby boomers. So why what are these generational gaps? What is the real issue? Why these gaps? What do we say are differences between them? It's difference of value. Basically, difference of value. The things they appreciate are not the things we appreciate. My son will often tell me, no, Mom, we don't share those values together. We don't share the same values. And I sometimes I can't understand, but that's it. We just don't share the same values. Different beliefs, and then a different way of thinking. I've come across a lot of teachers who would say, no, you must start with your hand, you must draw with your hand, you must, but I keep telling myself that they never saw it. They were born, they came out of the wombs with the Android and the selfies. So they can't even think outside of the app or the phone or the digital. So it's just a different way of thinking. They think everything is virtual, everything is online, everything is digital. So it's hard. It's a different way of thinking, a different lifestyle completely. And this has been caused by technological change, mobility, and especially globalization. And we'll see a little bit about this shortly. And these gaps are everywhere. Of course, then in business, we find the gaps in business, in politics, education, social life, everywhere. And especially, we will not even believe it, but it shows itself up in the design world. The spaces we have to design for, the ways in which we design, and the ways in which we teach design. So what specifically are these generational differences? Now, the millennials and the Gen Z are put into one category and put the baby boomers and the Gen X into another category. That means that those that are like in their 40s and below, early 40s and below, belong to the millennials and Gen Z, and those that are like 45 and above, another category of people. And the basic difference that would affect us as designers, that designers have to think about, is the fact that some are digital natives and some are digital migrants. Many of us that are baby boomers and Gen X, we're digital migrants. We have come into another world. They didn't come into another world, so it's quite different. And so the world in which one has to design for them has to take account of these digital differences. And secondly, they are also, it's important to know these differences. In fact, if I stop on this slide, it will be almost enough, but I think I'll go beyond that. It's also important to know that millennials are social advocates. You remember the SARS time, it was mainly millennials. It was the young people. And so it was a battle of, oh, these young people, they don't know what but they are social advocates. Whereas the older generation, they are social, they empathize, but they will not advocate as strongly. So in design, this also comes out because in their spaces, they want to stand for something. They want their spaces to personalize what they stand for. And sometimes now well, maybe not in this country, but even many places, they're environmentally active. They're the ones that are involved in making sure that we recycle, we're sustainable, so these things are part of them. They stand for social justice more than the older generation. And a third one, which I think is highly important, is work-life integration. Many people talk about work-life balance, but they talk about they think about work-life integration, meaning that work and life can't be separated. Their work and their whole life is all intertwined. Why? Because they live in the virtual world, and it's in that virtual world that everything occurs. And there's no going to work 8 to 5, come home, and you've forgotten work. No, work goes with them throughout the day. So that's why they think that life should also be integrated into work. So workplaces need to account for their lives. That one part of it is that workplaces need to account for their lives. So workplaces need to be all-encompassing. Have a gym, have a resting place, have everything they need for a whole life should be part of the workplace. And not just that, since the work is virtually virtual, there's no place where they can't work. So the work lifestyle is not that they can't be limited to a space. They need that flexibility to be anywhere to do the work, as long as they have the milestones for which they have to meet. It doesn't matter where they work from. And why spend so many hours on traffic when you can spend it online in a more comfortable place? So it is this that has generated the idea that for millennials, no, this freedom to be able to work online anywhere is key. I just recently was trying to get a friend of mine who needed new architects in his office. So I sent a text to all the students in a class of about 40 that, hello guys, here is this great architect in Lagos. He wants to employ fresh graduates here, blah, blah, blah. So please respond to this email. You will not believe it that I don't think he got up to more than 2 responses. And these 2 responses wanted to work online. And I'm not sure till today, this was early this year, I'm not sure he's gotten anybody yet, because the lifestyle, the work-life patterns of the millennials is completely different. They don't want to be stuck in physical spaces. So that's also important. They would prefer that work is around their life, life is around their work, everything is mixed up. It doesn't have, it should not be restricted to a place. This is different from those of a different generation who have a life, who focus rather on balancing work and life. They are not talking about balancing work and life, but rather they are talking about integrating work and life. Now, millennials also are more interested in their mental well-being. Mental well-being has been an issue for them, and so they work out more. They do more. They're more conscious of working out than older generations who just think about nutrition and having a balanced health. They focus more on mental well-being. Now, millennials are also different in the sense that they are more authentic. They want it real. They want it objective. They want it, they're not about political correctness. They want it as it is. So, and these things show in the way they work, in the way they design, and in the way they do many things. And also when they are learning, they want information that will be useful now. They want skills. And they're more entrepreneurially driven, unlike the older generation who are more knowledge driven. They lived in a knowledge economy. These ones are living in a skills economy because everything is about skills. And this will affect us when you employ them, or when you have, or when they have to work with older ones. They also should realize that it is that they are not thinking the way their bosses are thinking, and know that, and have to inform their bosses that my boss, this is what is important for us. And finally, they're quite independent and resourceful. They'd rather you leave them find out things by themselves, because there's so many resources that they can use to get what they want, and they're not dependent on like we were being socially dependent on. Oh, if I want to get to in a place, I ask people. The first thing that comes to my head is ask. The first thing that comes to their head is Google, ChatGPT, Gemini, all that. So the differences are quite important because they affect different aspects of design, of work, and of education. So I think I've just given in all this in a nutshell. Let's just briefly see how these things actually influence. And before we go into that, I think it's important to know that, yes, why are we addressing these things? There's hardly any place where all the generations don't meet to work, or don't meet to play, or don't meet to be entertained. So that we're always dealing with public places. We're always dealing with workplaces, offices, educational institutions, except for a place that is highly personal. These things have to be addressed so that there'll be harmony, a great productivity, innovation, and a strong community. In design business, the workplace is a meeting place of all sorts of views, and to maximize the potentials of both young and old, the wisdom of the old and the skills of the young. It's important to address it in design. So this is my outline again, just to let you know that now I'm going to discuss some of the gaps, just some, and many of which we are familiar with. So now I must say, first of all, that, like I said earlier, that most spaces have been designed to account for Gen X and baby boomers. And the literature and what we have been taught so far, the knowledge we have, is about designing for this particular age group. If we turn to books and literature, the Pinterest, wherever, information is them. A lot of information focuses on the older generation. So the information that we're short of is information about millennials and Gen Zs. So one of the most important differences when designing spatially for the Gen Zs and the millennials is there's a degree of difference of technological integration. that is that we find for the different generations. For example, the millennials need a high integration of technological facilities within any space. You need the places to charge, you need interactive boards, you need interactive panels, you need to find your way, you need to punch, you need to press, you need to scan, so that's the first major difference. So we have to be careful. We have to note that, be conscious of the fact that now that if I have to design, I have to put that at the back of my mind. Everything has to be smart. Not everything, many things have to be smart, and I have to account for this more input of technology into what I design. Secondly, millennials need a lot of multifunctional space because they do many things all at the same time. The older generations are more focused. So there's a difference in the degree of multiple things that need to be done. I mean, nowadays we have many of the millennials use multiple screens at the same time, So there's a need for multifunctionality, more multifunctional spaces. The third is that we have to note is the different types of aesthetics that appeal and the different ways in which they personalize. And also the fact that there's a degree to which they put their identity into the spaces for the people they support, for the causes they support. So in bridging this gap, it's important to note that while we have many smart technologies, we must also include and not forget that there's still those who are not yet there, and include some non-smart technologies and keep the older switches, the older appliances that will still help the non-millennials or the baby boomers to use the spaces. Yes, tech-friendly workspaces are being advocated, but we need a mixture of both. So I'm going to play this 1 minute or 1.5 minute video. And in this video, to help with the multifunctional nature of the things that millennials do, and also to make sure that we're able to accommodate both millennials and baby boomers, it's important to make places very flexible. And that's one key way to bridge this gap. And that means that we use modular configurations, adaptable furniture that is multifunctional. I think I like what Google did in their Google Workspace, in one of their workspaces, and I think I'll play this quickly.
My name is Mamie Reingold. I'm a program manager at Google, and we're in the garage. Google Garage is our hacker maker design space for Googlers. So it is this commons where Googlers can come together across the company to learn and create and make. So since it's really important to us that the garage is multi-user and multi-use, we really needed to build flexibility into the space.
The garage is kind of like my playground. When you come in, you can see that you can write on the tables, you can write on the walls, and then you can reconfigure the tables to be in any position that you want. Everything is on wheels. And that allows people to be flexible and to be more playful in a way that the typical space and the typical conference room just wouldn't.
Googlers were always confined to where there was an Ethernet port or power outlet on the walls. And we wanted to make sure you were never confined to a particular space in the room. So we built the power and networking on a grid that drops down from the ceiling so that you can go anywhere and it's always in reach.
Well, I'd say the main thing we teach here is how to have fun. I've always described Google as kind of a mix between kindergarten and a classy law firm. And in terms of productivity, I think that's what really makes people work together better, is having a sense of fun, non-competitiveness, non-hierarchy.
The space doesn't need to be fancy in order to be very functional, but what it really needs to be is flexible.
Yeah. That's it. No, okay. So that's it for flexibility. Furniture on wheels, accessible connectivity to the internet, from wherever, and smartness. Smartness is important and has to be the way to go. But at the same time, like I said, we need the manuals also for those who are not yet like the Gen Zs. So another important place to bridge is the fact that we have different aesthetic preferences. The Gen Zs and the millennials, now what I've found from some of the interviews that I've read about is that the Gen Zs are becoming more maximalist, while the millennials are still a bit of minimalist. So we have to kind of play a balance, ensuring that there are pops of color. At the same time, there are places where the places are minimalist, but generally they prefer the modern. Now, but the baby boomers and the older generation sometimes are more varied. They are more eclectic, and they're more sentimental about furniture. Their focus is on furniture and art, things that are more sturdy, that will last a long time, rather than the fluffy, just enjoyable, more aesthetically pleasing furniture. So, and the way to bridge this is to have the mix of both in most of the public spaces that we design. So we can also see in this slide a mixture of what the baby boomers would like, the older generation, and what the newer generation would prefer. And this suggests that we should account for both in such public spaces. I also said that millennials are social advocates, and their identity usually they want to represent it in the places that they have, that are personal to them. And they may also, it may not just be for maybe football fans or, but for causes like social justice, social awareness, gender equity that they support. So their identity, but for the older generation, putting their stamp and their person is not such a big deal. But for the younger ones, it is a big deal. Now, when we come to design the generational differences in workspace design, I've focused on general spaces up till now, but in workspace design, it is important, especially offices that we design. It's important to make sure that there are multiple amenities, because the millennials are talking of work-life integration, which means there must be places for play, there must be places for the gym, there must be fast amenities for relaxation in the place. And they also, love collaboration. So in this, the trend, of course, it's because of them that no space is mine, and it has changed, or a specific space is defined for me. That adage has changed to no space is yours. Every space is for everybody. So that freedom, that flexibility is something that they love. Meanwhile, we also must have more formal spaces for a few. So it is the multiplicity of spaces or multi-dimensional types of spaces that is important. And it's important, of course, to provide varying sitting positions, varying sitting options, varying meeting options, as well as also dedicated focus places. But even when we have dedicated focus places, some can be more formal than others. The one on the left, the image on the left, is a more formal, a more older generation type of informal space, while the one on the left, you can see that there are pops of color here when we have the younger generation, and not as such with older generations. So it's also, like I was saying, it's important to have variety of working spaces, smart walls, smart panels, luminous walls, luminous panels, tech-savvy spaces are the key, you know, with plenty of charging ports, fully stocked cafes, comfortable lounges, open areas. And in fact, it's also one of the things that millennials also want, in addition, is places where they can meet that are not also indoors and outdoors. And this is becoming a more common feature with co-working spaces, hybrid spaces that are developing. So, and because they love activities. Now, when it comes to not designing spaces, but work lifestyles, because many of us would have to employ millennials. You can't employ baby boomers, but you have to employ millennials. It's important to understand their work lifestyle. And so giving each other more independence, more room, and little micromanaging. The millennials, they don't like to be micromanaged because they want to be treated as, I mean, they have all the resources at their proposal to know what to do. And so, because now, when we were younger, the apprenticeship method was the method of training. But now it's no longer, you learn everything by yourself on ChatGPT, on Gemini, on the Google Net or workspaces. And so it's a different kind of system. So more room has to be, more opportunities, more space has to be given to the younger generation. And the younger generation will also have to give some understanding to the older generation in workplaces. And I mean, authenticity is important, and transparency. Employers, those who employ young people, need to be able to have authentic communication, clear objectives, set objectives, and well-defined. It's also important to know that millennials love collaboration and inclusivity. They like to be inclusive, and they want to get everybody on board. So such things require that you allow them to have their say and have other people say into what they like diversity. They like to accommodate everybody. And of course, they like flexible work styles, which I've said before. Finally, in the context of education, in the context of teaching, of which I've had a lot of experience, teaching, and some of us have to mentor, you know, so we're all teachers. It's important to know that the different groups of people, different generations are need to be taught differently. I need to account for the fact that these millennials, they leverage on technology a lot, and encourage them to use technology to the maximum opportunity. So I have to think about different types of learning, different ways of learning, gaming to learn, you know, they do learn well with a lot of online activities, simulation, gaming tools, all of that. They do learn well with group work, various digital tools to teach, videos and all that, and blogs in which we chat. So I think that is important. And they also learn, they don't want too much knowledge. They want knowledge that can be turned into action now. And so that short things, you know, short things from TikTok, short things from all sorts of videos, and focusing on skills that will help them to move on and do what they need to do. And of course, they love collaboration, working together with other people. And they want to be co-learners, not to be taught and handed down things. So these are important things. So finally,
okay,
I'm going to put it to an end. I'll skip this and go to the wrap up. So I've talked about generations, talked about the gaps in space, in designing spaces, and talked about gaps in learning, talks about gaps in working with millennials and older people. And the most important things in bridging the gap is understanding the differences. Once we both understand each other, we're fine. And
Yeah.
understanding each other, and then adopting technology for that is suitable to both parties and as well as nature. I didn't focus too much on sustainability here. Apologies for that. I think it would be an enough lecture for another day. And thirdly, making the places variety of spaces and flexibility. And finally, inclusive design process. But I shouldn't forget one word, which is focusing on universal design. That helps to bring all that I've said together. And universal design suggests that you are inclusive, it's equitable, everybody has opportunity to do what they want properly in those spaces. So I think on this note, I'll thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's been exciting. Also exciting for me to even think well about it. I never thought about it as now. So thanks.
You're welcome, and we're also grateful. So we're going to go straight to the questions and answer. I don't know, for those online, if you have questions, please just drop it on the chat room. And for those physically present, I wish I was though, but those in the hall, please bring in your questions. I'm sure Prof will be delighted to answer us. Prof, I'm so grateful. We are really grateful for what you're doing at the university, at the OAU.
Thank you.
It's been for many years, it's been a major dilemma for us in the design industry, not having any school in Nigeria that literally trains people in interior design. And I remember a few years ago, when I heard about the OAU and the Masters in Interior Design, I was so excited because I think the major foundational issue for us in the design industry is design education, and so we are really grateful and we're so excited at how much you've invested in it. We're so excited. Waiting for questions. And I love the fact that the theme for this year, World Interiors Day, IFI World Interiors Day event is about bridging the generational gap. I love the fact that like the last slide you said talked about inclusivity. It's very important because sometimes some of us designers get carried away and we're following trends. You know how that we follow trends and we're just thinking about Gen Z, and forgetting the fact that we have the older generation that need to benefit from the current designs. And I love the inclusivity. I love the fact that we are focusing on inclusivity and the fact that we can design using the modern technology while so even the older generation can take advantage of it. So it's really amazing what we're doing. I love the fact that we're designing not just for the future, but we have the older generation in mind. So it's everyone inclusive. Everyone plays a role, everyone gets to benefit from the designs. Yes, it's amazing. I'm still waiting for questions. I'm still waiting for questions. Yeah, so Prof, I don't know, I think one of my, in terms of like designing in general spaces like the hospitals and let me just say general spaces in I think I don't know what I know currently for our general spaces in Nigeria, people don't include the physically challenged. You see how that even hotels, hospitals and all that, someone with a wheelchair finds it hard to go to access the spaces, because when people are designing or building, they do not have that in mind that, okay, there will be some people who cannot, not just about the wheelchair thing, it's also about the fact that some people might have health issues where probably arthritis and they can't climb stairs. And I feel like, in designing something that is inclusive, I don't know if there are ways we can enlighten the public. Sometimes we put the whole responsibilities or the whole work on designers, but I think there are other stakeholders that need to be enlightened, on designing for everyone. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That you are correct. There are many parts to it. The first part is that where students or those who become designers in the end have to be educated.
Yeah.
So when they're educated, they have the tools to use to make sure that they follow universal design principles, which takes account of all that. Everybody is things will become equitable, but that's just one part of it. That's why designers, educators work together with policymakers, work together with the associations like yours. Now, the second part of it is that there should be policies in place. Now, when I say policies in place, I mean that the regulations for buildings, such that buildings should not scale through anything that does not meet these basic design principles of universal design. That's the government regulations. A third part of it is that as an association, as organizations that deal with design, we could give ourselves lead experts. We could give ourselves stars or ratings, or when we do it well. You understand?
Yeah.
We could have a system by which we acknowledge particular design spaces or particular designers as having a higher rating than others because they meet those principles. You see, there are many, those are the different ways by which we challenge ourselves. Yeah, because some people are LEED certified, for example. Now they get better jobs. So they get better jobs because they're LEED certified. So we could have but that's for sustainability issues. But we could also have universal design issues.
Principles.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank
awards. Let's give awards to those who do it well. That tells us those who are not doing it well should wake up.
Exactly. Yeah. So the IDAN has started with rewarding or giving awards to or honoring, people who are doing it right. And so on this note, I want to thank you once again. I want to also extend gratitude to Professor Ogunshote in absentia. Thank you guys so much for contributing to the growth of the design industry through education. And to the audience, thank you for joining us on this Conversations in Design. I hope you've been able to learn about how modern technology can be used in designing for all generation, for every year. And then I hope you also learned how that inclusivity is very important while designing. And then Professor Molly just talked about universal design principles that we need to imbibe while designing spaces. Thank you so much. And thank you, IDAN, for organizing this event. It's been an enlightening one, and I look forward to the other sessions. I'll be here. Ciao.
Yeah, ciao, bye.
Thank you, Frida, for moderating that conversation in design. And thank you to our panelists for bringing their wealth of knowledge and wealth of experience to the conversation. Next, I'd like to invite a representative of our main sponsor, our presenting sponsor, the InterStyle Homes. Shadi, if you'd like to join me on the stage, I'll get you a mic as well. Yeah. First of all, before you start, we want to say a massive thank you to them for all their support, especially at the last minute you came through, as InterStyle has been coming through for IDAN for years now. And thank you for being here and for your patience as well. So
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Shad Safiuddin. I'm from Interstyle. Interstyle now is on the, sorry, this is not the slide that okay. So Interstyle now, I need to introduce Interstyle as a full solution company for all your projects, as in tiles, sanitary ware, even profiles. And also we have the, okay. So it has to, yes, okay. Okay, so these are the brands that we represent at Interstyle Ceramics, or if we say that Interstyle Group. These are the solutions that we can provide for you for your projects, as in sanitary ware, tiles, profiles, even Laticrete, for example, is our new brand that will give you solutions for waterproofing and parking. Also, we have Ruby is the solution for the tools. In order to have a nice finishing, you should have the right tools in order to implement your tiles or cutting your tiles, or even provide the nice finishes. So tools will be the support for the tiling team in order to have the finishing that you desire. Other than this, I would like to introduce also Interstyle Home. Interstyle Home is the new entity of Interstyle Group. Interstyle Home is the full solution for your furnishing of your projects. We are talking about brands that has the power and the technology and the durability and the design that will make your designs achievable. If we start from Febalcasa, Febalcasa is one of the most well-known products or manufacturers in Italy that can provide for you the furniture solution, as in kitchens, wardrobes, a full library or a full solution for office furniture, even if you have school furniture and hotel furniture, hospital furniture. It's a project-based company. We take the project, we take all the elements and the projects, and we design the furniture that will provide the solution for you. The other brand that we have in Interstyle Home is Vondom. Vondom is the brand that represents the full solution for your outdoor furniture. It's not just a sofa, it's not just a chair, it's everything. We are talking about a full sofa set, fabric, even the fabric and the foam. It's not only polypropylene, we are talking about a full upholstered sofa can be used for outdoor. We are talking about loungers, big loungers, medium-sized loungers. We have flower pots, we have lights, we have relaxing chairs, restaurant tables, outdoor tables, HPL material that has the durability to stand whatever the weather conditions. If you visit our new showroom, you will see that we display our furniture outside for people to understand that this is the durable material that I can use in my projects with zero hassle. If we are talking about also the other brand that we have is Speletta. Speletta is specialized in shading and in umbrellas. Again, different sizes, different functions, different way of opening, because we think of the space. If you have it in the center of your table or at the side of your table, how much you can utilize the space around you. And again, we have Le Jardin. Le Jardin is a brand, we have it for outdoor lights, solar lights. So you don't need to connect your outdoor lights with anything. You are cable free. You just put it in the position that you need it, and you have the full solution for outdoor lightings. And then we have, of course, Kudu. Kudu is a nice product that multifunction. You have your light in your hand, you can chill your bottle, and you can listen to your music at the same time. So these items can give you the full solution that you desire, as in solution for indoor and outdoor. Not to forget, and the star of also InterStyle Home is Chakra. Chakra is something that if you enter our showroom, you will feel the experience. You will understand the nature. You will feel the softness of the fabrics, or even the bathrobes, because we tend to look for a product that's safe and also has environmental friendly product. You are talking about natural product. You are talking about bamboo fabrics, and so the bamboo will give you the softness and even the natural look of the items that you are selecting. So InterStyle now is not just a place where I can go and buy my tiles or my sanitary ware and thank you very much. No, we will take your, we are making sure that when you enter, selecting your tile, you end up furnishing your home and even having the full solution of your project. So this is the aim of InterStyle Group, that you enter a one solution place where you will have of course, we work hand in hand with our designers, with the interior designers, with the architects. The best thing that we have, that advice, we always give you the advice, not just I need you to take this item and thank you very much. Many times I even tell the client, I cannot give you this one. He say, why? I said, this will not fit your project. We can give you another one that fit your project. So experienced sales team, or let's say expert in this field, that taking care of your project. So if your project is our project, it's not just yours. When we have the relation with the interior designer or with the client, he's our friend. He's not just a client. I'm looking, okay, this is my bill and this is how much I need from. No, it's never like this, because we aim to reach with our projects to the end, to have the nice finishing, nice delivery, and have signature on each projects that we take care of. Thank you very much. And of course, welcome to InterStyle Home. I hope to see you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our main sponsor, InterStyle and InterStyle Homes. And we look forward to working with you, collaborating with you. Up next, we have our panel session, our panel discussion, and I have the pleasure of introducing our panelists for today. I'll start off by thanking them for their patience as well. So, coming up to the stage, which has been very beautifully furnished for us by Furniture Square. As you can see, they've supplied us with these amazing chairs, and a lot of the pieces we've used today have come from them. I'll start off by introducing Toludima Okoje, who is an estate surveyor and estate valuer at Kola Akomolede and Company. If you'd like to, please. Up next, joining her, we have Adedayo Karunwi, who's the creative director at Space Faculty. She's a coach and mentor at Gemstone Leadership as well. Please join us on stage. And last but not least, we have Mr. Kende Awoyinfa, who's the co-founder Meatbox Africa and co-founder Triangle. Just a brief introduction of our three guests before I introduce the Secretary General. Toludima Okoje is a certified real estate surveyor and valuer. She's a managing partner at Kola Akomolede & Co., a seasoned property consulting firm with headquarters in VI, Lagos. She is a seasoned professional with over a decade's experience in the strategic assessment, redevelopment, and project management of real estate assets to optimize clients' investment goals. Her firm has over 40 billion worth of assets under management for clients home and abroad. She graduated top of her class with first-class honors from Covenant University, Ota, Nigeria, and proceeded to obtain a master's in management and a diploma in entrepreneurship from the prestigious Imperial College, London. Let's welcome again Tolu Dima Okoje. We can do better than that. I just read off a whole list of accomplishments. Thank you. Fantastic. Sorry, bear with me. Adedayo Karunwi believes our spaces shape our lives. As an architect and interior designer, she's passionate about creating environments that empower and inspire. She believes design can be a powerful tool for understanding and collaboration across generations, especially in today's diverse workplace and living spaces. As an astute student of architecture and design, she leverages her design expertise in two businesses, Space Faculty, where alongside her team, they create immersive experiences within interiors. She also contributes to a progressive firm, Kauri Architecture, where their daily goal is to redefine architecture on clients' playground of creation. Over the years in her line of duty, she has seen firsthand how design caters to and connects different generations. Her passion for design extends beyond aesthetics. It's about fostering enabling environments beyond design or architecture, which require personal and business leadership. As well as innovation through design, she works with young leaders to approach their personal and professional space with some intentionality they bring to leadership. She does this through the Faulia Lifestyle Hub. Excuse me if I mispronounced that. Please let's welcome. Fueled by relentless drive to innovate, Kehinde transitioned to Woodstock Electronics Limited, where he immersed himself in groundbreaking technology integrated projects across Nigeria and Ghana. Let's please welcome again Kehinde Awoyinfa. And last but not least, I'm going to introduce the current Secretary General of the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria, our SecGen, as we like to call her. And I just call her Bukola. She currently runs a design practice called Sunflower by Bukola. Please let's make her welcome. She was very pivotal in organizing this day. And I have literally just put her on the spot with me on this panel, which is why I don't have her official bio, by the way. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I feel like Bukola is a bit lonely at that end. Should I sit next to you? So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Titi Fora. I am the current treasurer of the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria, and I run a design practice called Inu Design based here in Lagos. And it's my pleasure to moderate this panel. Apologies once again to you and to everyone for are late running today. You know, traffic happened, Lagos happened, it's all happening. So, the theme for World Interiors Day this year, as we all know, is bridging the gap. Bridging generations, designing a multi-generational future. And when I thought about that topic, I kind of wanted to approach it from two angles. You know, talking about building multi-generational design practices, but also creating multi-generational design, because that is what our practices aim to do. So I would like your insight, each of you, based on your experience. We've rolled out your in fact, I didn't read most of their bios. I read the abridged version because some of them still go on. These are very accomplished designers that we have with us. But based on your experience and your background, what does multi-generational design mean to you? What does that evoke? You know, I've just given a bit of an idea of what I think, but I'll come across the panel and ask you what that means to you, multi-generational design, because we've been saying that all day today, but what does it really mean? I'll start with you.
No, ladies first. I'm a gentleman.
No,
Okay,
because
no
we feel like we might outnumber you on this panel, so we're just trying to be a bit.
I'll go ahead. Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited to be here. I would like to thank Aidan for bringing us here and Bukola for dragging me here to be part of this panel. I wonder why she thought I would know about multi-generational. I can't even pronounce the word. I'm just a smart home guy, workplace technology guy, and thank you for bringing me here. I'm happy I have my sister here. We've been on several projects, and I'm sitting next to her. So the next few questions you'll be asking, I'll just say according to yes, I'll reiterate what she said. Because, but I'm sure we'll have so much fun. Thanks to Alliance Francaise for such a beautiful space, and we're so grateful to them. By the way, we designed this space 5 years ago.
I was going to say that. That's why he's putting that in there.
We spent an entire year, and I've not been here in a while, but I'm so proud of what we've been able to achieve as a young company when we started, and I'm excited to be back here. Right? Back to the topic. Multi-generational
design.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You are taking it from two folds. You are taking it from the design itself and from the organization, right? And for us as a design company, our company is called Triangle. For us as a design company, we tend to everybody in the generational sector, right? So from the young guys to the accomplished people. To be honest, I tend not to use the Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, right? Because I see them as some form of stereotypes, right? But just for let's just check how many Gen Zs are here. Let's see how many Gen Zs. And you guys are meant to be louder. Gen Z.
Can some of us that are not Gen Z identify as
Gen Z? That's something that happens, right?
I think I identify. I'm not.
So my guys, the millennials, where are you guys? Millennials.
We're here.
Oh, awesome. Gen X.
We're here. We might identify as something else, but we're here.
Baby boomers. Where are the baby boomers? We have to stand up for those. Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know what generation I'm in. I don't know.
I can tell you.
No, I'm asking. Is there anybody that doesn't know what generation they're in? Right? But to be honest, fundamentally as humans, we're 99.9% biologically the same, right? And I really think that stereotype of generation, there are differences, right? And we just need to embrace those differences and not see it as a problem, but see it as something that makes it work for us, right? And I see these generations as different experiences, and we need to see through each other's lenses, right? For us as a design company, back to how we design. So currently we design for homes. When you were reading my bio, I'm passionate about improving how people live and how people work, right? Hence, what that means is we design technology for people's homes and their offices. So for homes, right, you are designing technology systems for multiple people, right? And I've had, for example, a client where in the living room, the kids wanted TVs, like a big, massive 85-inch TV. And the parent was like, no way, I bought this couch how many million. You guys sit down here and mess it up, and you might want to spoil the aesthetics. And what we had to do was we had to listen to the kids, we had to listen to the parents, right? And what we then did was we had to converge and find a middle ground to see how we can bring to life both of their expectations. And what did we do? We had the TV in there, or we had a motorized panel that concealed and covered that TV. And with the touch of a button, when you come into the room, you press watch. I want to watch TV. The panel slides open, the TV comes on, and that amazing experience just solves a simple problem for two people, right? Those are some of the things that, again, technology is going to help the interior design industry to help solve those multi-generational design problems, right? And for the workplace, we've done several offices, and you have the startups, the fintechs, the guys are a bunch of, Gen Z's, amazing guys. They want the ping pong in their offices, and they have this CTO or CFO that is older, and you're thinking, how do I create an office that the CTO will come in, a CFO, for example, will come in, and the young engineer will come in, and you feel comfortable, right? The young engineer wants to. We're recruiting recently, and my guys were like, the person I was recruiting said, sorry, if it's not remote, I can't work. I'm like, you can't. Amazing guys, Gen Z, right? Okay, I'll come to the office once. I'll pity you and come to the office once, but I can't be coming to the office. It doesn't even make sense, right? So I think hybrid is the future, right? Hybrid, and hybrid means we design spaces for people that want to work in the office, and people that decide I want to work from home, but retaining that same experience, right? So because I'm working from the office doesn't mean I should have, so what we call it in industry is equity, right? It doesn't mean because I'm working from the office, my experience should be different from the person working from home. So we do video conferencing systems, boardrooms, right? And technology has improved so much, right? In the past, if I was going to design a boardroom, right, you have one clunky camera on top, seeing everybody, like, but we have AI features of these cameras that can frame everybody into multiple frames, and we can create you're in that meeting room, right? We take into consideration acoustics, how the room sounds, so people can hear themselves, and things like that. We have an experience center in King Styles, by the way. If you want to see how our hybrid workplace experience works, we'll be very honored to have you. But essentially, with regards to the design, we use technology to solve things for residential and things for solutions for the workplace. I could talk of how many more minutes I have? I enjoy talking, by the way. So
we enjoy listening.
For a design company, right? And I think most of us seated here are running design companies with multi-generational young people, old people, right? There's power in diversity, right? I can't imagine coming to my office and everybody looks like me, dresses like me, talks like me. So why are we here, right? So currently today, I came with two of my guys. Obviously, the Gen Z is on camera trying to take pictures of me because Gen Zs are good with...
They record everything.
So you see, and the millennial sitting at the back, after the meeting, she's going to tell me, Kehinde, why did you say this? Do you understand? Millennials are able to give you feedback. They're able to give you all of... But the Gen Z, if you check Triangle social media, you see that these guys are giving me a lot of content. So it's just a simple scenario of how we can take the power of these two different people and make a very good experience for everybody. And I've been fortunate enough to also work in the interior design industry, right? I've worked with Munition Barre of IO, and I can see her structure, her capacity. I've been in meetings with her, and I'm like, wow, where is this? You know how she talks and all of that stuff. But at the same time, I've been with my sister here on site, and I can see how hardworking she is, how creative she is. We fight about the color of a cinema chair. Don't do this color. We engage. And I've recently worked with a Gen Z interior designer called Noani, a fantastic young lady. We worked on a project, and how did she do a proposal? She came with an iPad, put this thing, just an app. She came with a proposal. She doesn't have Munition Barre's capacity and structure and all of that. So, but she did a fantastic project, right? She brought her own in 30 minutes. She had designed a room, putting stuff, AI, augmented reality, virtual reality. So the real reason we should be here in this room is how can we take IO's competence, right? Structure, strength, capacity, all of that. And my sister, how can we take our hardworkingness, our creativity, and that Gen Z that is also looking, I'm not even bothered. Don't even stress me. I'm going to give you that same result in a very fast, easy. I can use technology to make it work, and I'm very, very lucky to be in the midst of IDAN members. It's so much joy to work with the interior design community, and I cherish every moment of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. A round of applause. Yes, I think Kende's kind of covered a lot. I like how you went. The first thing you said was actually from the point of view of the end user. Like you told us a cross-generational story, even from the end user's perspective, which is, they're the clients. They're the ones that we're working towards pleasing and producing results for. So if we look at things from that perspective, it also informs how we approach this gap closing that we're discussing. So you talked about a client that had almost a generational issue that needed to be resolved. And I always say interior designers are problem solvers. So, and you went in and you solved the problem. And then you also gave us a perspective as to how your design practice is also cross-generational. So you actually, how you said the word, you can't say the word, but you know what it means. And that's all that matters. Fantastic. Please also would like to hear what it means to you, and also, some practical perspectives.
Thank you for having us here. Once again, thank you, Buki, for having me. I'll take you from a different angle. For me, it's a family business. Coincidentally, a while ago, I was also talking to one of my partners abroad, and they run a business.
Sorry
it's a
to
door.
interrupt. You said it's a family business. I know the background, but can you tell us a little bit about that family business so people get an understanding of the angle you're coming from when you say
that's what I'm about
cross-generational?
to get into, actually. So they run a practice that has been on for 150 years. And I like the fact that you spoke about Mrs. Shonibare, because my journey actually started from there. And what I appreciate about them is the fact that it's gone from one generation to another. The grandson is the one that is, taking the business to another level as we speak. And of course, there are always challenges. You have to be passionate about it for you to be in the business. It's not just about your parents, grooming you, you having the values and things like that. It's also about you seeing the future, seeing yourself in the future and seeing the future in what you're doing. So, and so we spoke at length about how, there are times that they fight to win. You want to do something new, you want to do something, you've seen what other people are doing in the industry and you want to do something different. And you have this dad or this granddad that just thinks that, it's nice for you to have the handmade, forget about CNC machine that makes a door, for instance. Let's, have handcrafted stuff. But somehow they fight to win. They find the middle ground in the sense that the way they could solve that was to have different packages or different designs. So a client that wants the classic effects, the handcrafted stuff, goes for that. And so they find that even in what would have been a limitation, they found a strength. So they could deliver to different types of clients, as it were. And, for the Gen Z, like my brothers call them here, who are very creative and like the smart door, those kind of solutions, they could also offer. So it's for me, when I hear that word, it's like people that started an organization with the intention of translating into an institution. An institution is something that lasts after you. Just the same way we try to build legacy with our children in our homes. You're creating a dynasty in that aspect. You can also do that within your business. And Unfortunately, we don't have so many in Nigeria, but I believe that, from here, we can have a lot of companies, even amongst ourselves, that would, grow to something like that. So it's seeing the future as something that is bigger than you and creating something out of that. Like Professor said when she was speaking as well, you can basically speak to the future in your design. So yeah, that's how I'll put it.
Thank you so much. I like that. Speak to the future in your design. And I also like what you said about creating legacy, but the example you gave also speaks to compromise, because everybody comes with a different perspective. And then from different generations, we see things differently. And it's not always a bad thing. It depends on how you also take it. If you take it as a strength, and you avail yourself of both perspectives, both both positives, the positives that both sides are bringing, and you find a middle ground, and effectively the end user benefits because first of all, they get choice. So the person that wants the good old, they get that. And the person that wants the brand new shiny, which there's nothing wrong with, they get that as well. And then you build a business that can cater to a wider market as well. And then that also enables you to establish legacy because then you don't run out of ideas. So I think that's a fantastic way to look at it. So I'm smiling at Tolu because, you're up next.
I'm wondering what else do I want to say?
They've said, you'll be surprised. Your point of view is also...
So let me take it up from what my colleagues have said now. I also happen to be second generation business owner, and it wasn't the plan. Maybe it was my chairman's plan, but it was not my plan. And I worked in a multinational. I was curious to see how they were learning. But one story I want to share with us here is, I remember when I resigned and I confirmed where I was going, my MD took me out to lunch and said, there's something you young people, then we were there's something you young people do. I've seen it happen across businesses. You go into business, you're like, you want to use technology, and you go there and sometimes you destroy value that someone has used an entire lifetime to build. It might be different from, what your expectations are, what's reality today, but that does not take away the fact that it has value. It has paid your school fees, it has done So therefore, there is some value there. And he encouraged me, and I'll never forget it. Yao. He said, why don't you study that, look for the gaps, and look for opportunities to create a win-win for that person and yourself, your clients as well, because I was also dealing with much older clients, and get their trust, such that at a point, they truly will not understand, but they will trust. So, and I think really that is what multi-generational design, as it were, is about, because you must transit. But in transiting, there should be value that we shouldn't let go, because you never know when it will come to bear. Random story. I don't know how it will fit in, but remember COVID period. Do you remember how the Americans, or let's just say people in the Western world, were so concerned about not having tissue paper? I remember I had a mentor like, Tolu, there's no tissue. And in my mind, I'm like, what's the problem? Is there no water? Before I had to think and realize that because of our own cultural environment, we're used to having alternatives. But there it's tissue or tissue. So what am I trying to say is they found themselves in a situation where they could never have thought they would find themselves in. Imagine if we had incorporated a design that could take care of that, in quote, older, backward way of doing things for an unknown situation. So food for thought. I'll end it there.
Thank you. She's left us on a cliffhanger of thought. How do we do that? But I also like something you said, which is very important, trust. Because the foundation of a lot of our businesses, our practices is trust. Once you establish that, the clients are willing to listen, whether you're bringing the old school ideas. And I keep saying old school, but I don't mean it in a derogatory way whatsoever. It's the value of the old, the experience, the wisdom. So once your clients trust you, that you're bringing that wisdom, and then you're also adding the innovation, technology, you're forward thinking, they're more likely to just let you run the project or take them on that journey because they trust you. Thank you for that. Sec Jen.
Oh God, where do I start from?
You're the hot
Okay,
seat.
I'll just first I want to thank all of you for coming and contributing, and because you've all exhausted the options, I would go down a different route. I would say multi-generational design or bridging the gap is all about inclusiveness or inclusivity and also resilience. Building something, I wouldn't say sustainability, but beyond sustainability, something that outlasts even the intended design. So, designers are used to the word form follows function of whatever, but something that even outlives form or function that goes beyond that. So, I can't imagine what was going through the mind of the first person that designed a bulb or a pen, but it has outlived them and it's worked for a completely different, perhaps, purpose than they or imagined or wanted to design that piece of object for. And lastly, I know a lot of people have said about Gen Z, Gen X, and the boomers. I'd like to just point our attention to children, the babies, the future, right? So a lot of things that we do and design for the VP when they were having the online session mentioned about accessibility and all that, is that consciousness of doing stuff now and also considering the future. So the younger generations, even those ones that haven't been born, doing things consciously, being conscious, that's conscious design, and also being mindful of others. So when I say others, I mean other designers. So Kenny said he designed this place, for instance, in terms of audiovisual integration and all that. I'm sure there was an interior designer on the job. I'm sure there was an architect, an engineer. Is looking at that interdisciplinary team that you have to work with and being considerate and mindful. You don't want to do things that would frustrate the next person that has to deal with what you've done. So it's thinking ahead, thinking behind, thinking in the present and forward, and just being mindful. Sometimes we do things where in a bubble as designers, we have egos and we're trying to do things to boost our design portfolio and all that, and we're not mindful or conscious of others, our colleagues, the other professions and other disciplines, engineers, construction workers, even artisans that we work with. I think that bridging gap should be not just about the age gap or the generational gap, but also even the wealth gap. Between your artisan, the person that puts in that work, and you that ends up putting the photographs on Instagram. It's all teamwork and it's all, that collaboration and knowing that it starts from the person that cut the wood from the forest to the person that sits on the chair, and being mindful, creating sustainable design, inclusive design, and also resilient design that outlives us. So. Yeah.
Fantastic. I can't believe she said, I don't know what else to add to that. And then she said all of that.
Just dropped all the gems.
And I really, really like what you said about mindfulness. I think sometimes when we think about mindfulness, we do it in a very selfish way. We think mindfulness is just about how does this serve me? But being mindful of the other, being mindful of, the previous, being mindful of the present, and then being mindful of the future, and bringing all of that together. And I think the end result will be design that stands the test of time, because you have, again, thought about how to journey through all the changes. Even as you're designing today, you're remembering yesterday, but you're bearing in mind tomorrow. So I think that look at mindfulness in a different way is actually very, very profound. Thank you so much. So I'm going to move on to one thing that I think is a challenge, or might pose a challenge when we're thinking about this cross-generational design, whether it's in terms of building the practice or what we're trying to present as designers? How do we deal with communication? Because when you have different approaches, communicating that approach can in itself be a problem. That could be a stumbling block, whether it's from even communicating the concept or whether it's, like you said, reaching a compromise onto where the design is going, whether it's how you communicate with your staff members that fall into different age group or members of your team, even if they're not necessarily the staff. How do you communicate with clients when it's, when they're generational gaps? I don't like to say gaps, but I think we know what we mean, differences, How do we deal with communication, which I think is a key building block? And I'm going to start from the other end this time, yes, so that everyone doesn't keep saying, oh, what she said, or what he said, or they said it all. So how do we deal with communication within the context of this topic?
Okay, so I'll take it from maybe a different angle. I've worked with the NEC, I've done NEC for 10 years now. The former Secretary General, Mrs. Gbemisola Aliko, is here. So, and I'm now the president. But while she was Secretary General, I was the PRO of the association. I've worked with this current NEC, and I started my career working with the founder of
Sorry, I'm the younger generation.
We
identify as younger.
Okay. And I've worked with Mrs. Titi as well. When she was chair of education committee, I'll say 3 NECs ago as well. And I started my NYC working with the founder of the association, volunteering for IDEN. So I would say I've worked across generations, and currently I'm part of a team, a much younger NEC group. But the last committee, I've always been the youngest person in, working with people that I started my career with, and then sitting on the same table, deliberating and discussing and sometimes arguing with. And it's all boiled down to communication, and working with these amazing people has really opened up my mind and my eyes to the different ways we can achieve. You have a goal in mind, we are all passionate, we want results, but it becomes apparent how different people think, but when you settle down and reflect, you realize that sometimes it's towards the same goal, but different perspectives. So I would say a bit of patience, a bit of reflection, a lot of reflection, and I'll say again, mindfulness, and seeing that you're not the only knowledgeable person, and also taking that space and taking the opportunity to shine as well. But the thing about shining is it's about light, is that you can make an impact without dimming other people's lights. You can make a point or an opinion. You can come up with an idea without putting other people down. These are lessons I've learned from working in a multi-generational setting in terms of the NEC and IDEN. So I think this might be unique to what every other person has to say about that.
Thank you so much. I like that because she can bring that to the table, because she's, currently, yes, part of the NEC. So the hard work is paying off even in experience in other ways. So thank you for giving us that perspective. And again, it's mindfulness even in how we communicate, which is another angle. So Tolu.
Okay, I want to take another perspective to follow from what she said. The word you said is communicating, and I think the other part of communicating that we miss out really is the part of listening. a lot of us are talkers. A lot of us, we're excited about our dreams.
Creatives.
Yes, we're excited about what we want, what we're like, you don't know what's going on. Let me show you. And we miss out really on the fundamental, issues that the client is trying to resolve. I like what Kende said earlier when he said, the client is thinking, I don't want you to ruin my sofa. And the kids are thinking, what's the point of all this if we can't watch a big screen TV? So it's the fact that he was able to listen that made him find the solution that fit, these two sub-clients, as it were. So Stephen Covey would say, seek first to understand than to be understood. And I find that if we really want to communicate, I think in communicating, one of the things they say is sound out what the person said, like you're repeating it. So you're telling the person, go ahead, I want to really understand and hear you. And I believe that for most of us, if you truly hear what they're saying, then it's easier to communicate or offer a solution that addresses the pain point that the client has offered. So in terms of communicating, in summary, is really listen and listen to address their issue vis-a-vis, the ideas and whatnot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Listen to address the issue. Again, we're all in the same boat trying to solve a problem. So we want to reach a solution together. I know it's often said that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We should listen twice as much as we speak, because when you speak, you're telling us what you know. But when you listen, you're absorbing what you don't know. And I guess that is something that works for both sides of the coin, within the practice and even when we relate to the clients, because we have to really hear what they're saying and sometimes read between the lines. A lot of clients will start with, I don't know what I like. And you just have a few conversations with them and you're like, yeah, yes, you do. So fantastic, yeah. Well, they'll tell you what they don't like, then you know what they like. So
I like what you said. There's also something that I think is common with most people. We listen to respond rather than listen to understand what the issues are. And one thing that we have been doing one way or the other since we started this conversation is we've been sharing stories. And stories, whether we like it or not, are relatable. If I tell you a story, it helps you understand why my perspective is a certain way. So if I believe that if we understand whether the person is able to tell you their story or not, because there are deeper issues into the reason why we do the things we do. So whether the person is telling you the reason or not, it will help us to be able to show empathy, which is very key when we are communicating. We have to be able to understand where this person is coming from. I mean, if a boss is shouting down, maybe like the design head or something is shouting down at the Gen Z creative, you should understand where the person is coming from. Maybe this work is the only thing that puts food on the table for not just their family, even, and you as a Gen Z that is a creative that likes the flash, you can, a lot of times creatives like that or Gen Zs, because they have the tendencies to also start something of they're very entrepreneurial in their thinking. So if something goes down south for them, they're ready to drop their tools and go. But if you understand that the reason why this person is reacting this way is because it means so much to them, I mean, you might also learn something from that. So I'm talking basically from, someone working with a team, a design person working with a team. So empathy is very key in communication.
fantastic. Thank you. As with everything, there's usually a story behind even why people do what they do, why they do it the way they do, why they think the way they do. And at times, listening to what isn't even said helps you understand how to communicate better. Thank you so much. You're next.
What she said.
So, according to what everybody has said, I'll try to summarize what they've all said. And they've raised very, very important conversations, right? Mindfulness, understanding. And what I've realized in my own small little career is it's difficult to communicate if you don't choose intentionally to understand people, right? It's entirely difficult because we have cameramen here, right? And all these cameras have different lenses, right? There's a wide angle, there's a narrow angle, there's 0.5. We all know that, right? And to be honest, if if you take a camera and you take a shot of this room, you will see everything, right? But if I want to see one person, I need a different camera. I need a different lens, right? So to zoom in and narrow down on that person, right? So if we don't intentionally, so for example, if an intern come to my office, right, I just see the joy on their face, my first job, my first day, and I put myself in that scenario, and I say, I also remember how do I mentor this guy? How do I make sure she's going this direction? The older people in my office, what are you going through? You are thinking of retirement. What is it? The millennials, right? You are thinking of school fees, children, all of these things. You just need to understand people before you can communicate with them. And empathy is important. Mindfulness is important. You can't just talk to people anyhow. And 90% of what we do in the workplace or anywhere else is communication. We're trying to interact with different people. And also, in regards to communication, again, I just would like to add one more thing in terms, because I'm a sales guy, I talk to customers a lot, right? So, and communication, sales is communication, right? And people tend to buy from people that are like them, right? If I see an HNI, I'm talking about, I was in France, I was in Monaco, they already see, this guy is one of us, right? Do you understand? I know how to see the world,
as they say. It's
yeah, I know how to see life through their lens. So when I'm communicating with an HNI, we're talking, we're G's, we're together. You are not anything, right? And when I'm talking to an artisan, I've drank Gary together. How far I would take do this thing, right? So I try personally to change that lens immediately. I change that lens and I reconstruct it, and I start dealing with that person. So it's important. Now I'm not saying you should always fake or try to, but please just always change that lens. That's what I want to communicate.
Fantastic. Thank you. I think also something I heard from what you were saying is intentionally putting yourself in the other person's shoes so that, you see which lens they're looking out from and what's informing their decisions and their perspective. Okay. So I think that on that note, would like to thank you. I mean, I could stay here all afternoon. I have so many questions. I'd like to thank each and every one of our panelists for the perspective that you have brought and for the honesty with which you've shared with us today. Thank you so much. In closing, when we got the theme, which was talking about bridging generational gaps, there was an image that came to my mind about this concept of a generational gap or working across generations, which is, of someone holding onto the hand of an elder, but then their eyes were looking to the future. So you're the bridge, but you're also bringing the past on a journey, because we're all going on a journey. It's always a design journey. Every project is a journey, every season that we're in as practitioners is a journey. So holding on to the hand of the elders, as not necessarily elders in terms of age, but in terms of wisdom, experience, and then seeing through the eyes of the future, like looking to the future, and then being almost that bridge yourself that journeys, takes the best of the past, adds it to the mindfulness of the present, and looks to the innovation and the technology and all the newness that the future has to offer. And thank you for being that. You've all been bridges, and I hope we all continue to be bridges in our industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You wanted to
I
share
was
something?
going to say, whilst you were talking, what came to mind from what you're really trying to explain is, you allow yourself to be mentored by people that have gone ahead, and then I'm sure that person will be mindful to also guide you to look in the direction of the trends, as it were. It's very important in our line of
mentoring
business.
is not just for the people ahead. To be honest, Gen Zs can mentor you. So it's a
You're very right.
the mentorship is symbiotic. Like we need to learn to unlearn, relearn, and just keep learning. We're on a learning journey, and mentorship goes different ways.
Yes, I mean, even the examples you've given about social media, for example, just as an example, there's so many things that the younger people know. I mean, like I identify as a young person, but I know there are younger people that are real younger people, and even being open to learning from them, because sometimes we think we can only learn from it's both ways. Learning is truly both ways. Communication is both ways, and growth is both ways. So thank you so much. We've learned a lot from all of you today. Thank you.
Can I just mention that as part of the benefits of being IDAN members, the Education Committee has come up with a mentorship program, and I think they're having one of the sessions on 7th of June, and please look out for those opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Sorry, can we have a picture with the panel?
Oh, you're beautiful. Eba mi kila for my mommy.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have the SecGen, who's going to stay on stage as she presents IDAN's history. Mrs. Bukola Adeyemi.
I think we should just because of time, I'll just go ahead and read about why to join IDAN. But before I say that, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our special guest and keynote speaker, Honorable Motunrayo Adijat Adeleye. You're welcome, ma. She came all the way from Ogun State to join us, so please let us appreciate her. Because of our time, I'll just go through, I wouldn't want to go through the whole history of IDAN, but I'd like to say that IDAN, the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria, we're an association that we celebrate design, inspire design, and motivate design. We are set up to be inclusive. We encourage people from all generations, and we're respectful of those that have paved the way for us. I'll go straight to why join IDAN and the benefits. The first benefit is global partnerships. Companies abroad seeking partnerships with Nigerian companies like to work with those who belong to professional associations, and IDAN is the only professional association for interior design in Nigeria. Also, we're also member partners with IFI, which is the international body, International Federation of Interior Architects and Design, which our founder was the president of IFI as well. So we not only encourage partnerships from global bodies with our members, but we also partner with global bodies to bring value to our members. The next benefit is credibility. In addition, IDAN will soon organize trade missions within and outside Nigeria, where members will meet those who wish to do business with Nigerians. IDAN is a platform for credibility. Also, just bearing that IDAN membership stamp, whether you're a professional member, an associate, or an industry partner, gives you that bit of credibility that you need to gain trust with your clients or with the people that you work with. Trade discounts. We just concluded our trade. This program as well is part of a trade week, a week-long program. But most importantly, IDAN organizes trade discounts, and we negotiate trade for trade-only benefits with industry partners for the sake of our members. So areas where you'd regularly get retail prices or retail deals, we bridge that gap between the suppliers and the members and create collaboration and fruitful partnerships between industry partners in the industry and our members. Then validation. Members or membership of IDAN will give potential clients a level of comfort knowing that the member has undergone some vetting by the association. I mentioned earlier the education committee, they plan CPDs, CEO roundtable programs, mentorship programs to keep our members abreast, to encourage continuing professional development, that form of self-development and growth. We encourage growth in the industry. Don't just stay where you started. You have to improve yourself. Then when you join IDAN, you become a registered IDAN member. You're accredited, you're recognized, and you're part of a community. Members' resources. Members are kept abreast of international trends and happenings in the international design world. And we're making a conscious effort not to just look to the West, but to also foster partnerships with other African nations as well. And recommendation as well. IDAN provides letters of recommendations or visas to embassies on behalf of members. We also wish to attend relevant exhibitions abroad. However, the exhibition must be one that IDAN is aware of and believes will be useful to members. We also plan our own exhibitions, like the guide exhibition that we have yearly, and that is also to create opportunities for our industry partners and to create avenues for networking. Trademark, IDAN logo and appellation. All our members, excluding student members, are entitled to use the IDAN logo and appellation on their stationery, advertisement, press articles, and so on. And finally, certificates. Members are issued certificates and are given certificates annually. The last info session we had, someone asked why we give certificates annually and why not just register a member and that's it. Because of that growth and sense of, we feel a sense of responsibility towards our members. We're in charge with the responsibility to make sure that our members are growing and that they renew that sense of commitment to both the association, our vision, and the design industry at large. Thank you very much. And also, please remember to collect your membership cards at the front desk for those that have paid, and let's be encouraged to pay our dues. Thank you.
Your card. Okay, I think I'm going to get it for you. No problem.
Sorry, our time is far spent, and I have to take over from Mrs. Titi. She has to be somewhere now. My name is Adeniji Andrew, and I'm the national PRO for IDEN. And just not to waste our time any further, we'll be inviting the representative from Actu by Fawani to please.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Should I speak first?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. And then hello. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm the brand manager of Actio, Mahmoud Saleh, my name. So Actio is a manufacturing brand in Spain, which is mainly office furniture, but we also do hospitalities, auditoriums, exactly like the one we are using today. So the brand is almost 2 years in Nigeria. It has previous projects already, and it was through people that were in Aiden. I wrapped up things in a video for you to see. So I don't know if they're going to play it now. Just to have a look, and then we can. Okay. That's it. The sound also. I just want to show you the location because I will talk about LEED, about WELL, because we are accredited both. So that's the main office in Alicante, Spain. And that's Gen Z offices. That's our latest products, which is the cabin. It's full acoustic. Nobody can hear you outside, so you can have in workspaces, open workspaces, this cabin to do your meetings. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you. So I will wrap it up. Actio has been, as I said, 2 years. it belongs in Nigeria to Fuani. We are the distributors, the same distributors for LG Hisense. So in that case, it means we have huge stocks that can help the designers that has a project that can't wait for shipping from outside. So, and Actio is a story of innovation itself. As you can see, the products, how they are produced. Everything is produced inside the same headquarters you saw. They don't outsource anything. So to keep the quality of the products, I'm waiting for audio collaborations, or waiting collaborations with all the interior designers. We are already dealing with a lot of interior designers from Aiden. So yeah, we are expecting you. And as I said, Fuani, which means we can do projects all over Nigeria, not only in specific places, and in very like, let's say in a quick pace. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And one thing we can't deny is, across the design industry in Nigeria, things are improving, day by day. The quality of projects, the creativity, the availability of some, kind of material that we only, saw in magazines, they are coming in now. But I just hope in the nearest future, Acti will be having their own production factory here in Nigeria, West Africa, depending on what's suitable for you, because beyond just importing all these things, it will impact more when it's being produced here and we're able to benefit directly, not just importing. But lovely products, and definitely Aidan is always here to collaborate, to give that platform for you to connect to every designer across Nigeria. Not to waste time any further, we'll be inviting up the Honorable Commissioner Adeleye, Commissioner for Women Affairs, Ogun State, to address us at this minute. Please, a round of applause as she comes up. Do you want to?
Good afternoon, everyone. Sincerely, when I received this invite, I asked myself, why have I been invited? Because I know I am not an interior decorator. But one thing I know is, and that I am sure of, though you might question that today, because I'm not really in my element, I know I love good things. I love designs. I love colors. And before I became the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, I was actually Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, a ministry that oversees our indigenous tie and dye fabrics, Adire, Adi, Are. So I think when you're talking about Adire, then you are close to the designers. And once a designer, it doesn't matter whether interior or exterior, you are a designer. I want to sincerely appreciate everyone seated here this afternoon. I extend an apology for coming a bit late. I told the organizers it's been a very busy week for me. Monday, because I am a child, we had the Children's Day. It happens to fall under the purview of my office as the Commissioner for Women Affairs. Wednesday happens to be my governor's birthday. It's a 2-in-1 celebration for us in Ogun State, the first year in the second term, and the governor's birthday. So it's been a very busy week. And this morning, I was on OGBC before setting out for Lagos. I'm coming from abroad now. It is United States of Abeokuta. But because of what this body means to me, I just have to be here. So even if I'm not looking to just manage me the way you have seen me, it is stress, unlike Lagos stress. I'm sorry, I don't have the protocols. So permit me to, I will not sit, neither will I stand. So permit me to adopt the well-established protocol that has been laid. Distinguished guests and passionate design enthusiasts, it is an immense honor to stand before you today, not as the Honorable State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Ogun State, but as an interior decorator, enthusiast who takes pride in exploring the transformative power of design. As we convene on this auspicious occasion of World Interiors Day 2024, I am deeply moved by the recognition of the profound impact that thoughtful design can wield upon our lives. It transcends mere aesthetics, becoming a catalyst for shaping our experiences, nurturing connections, and igniting positive change. Today, under the auspices of the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria, we gather to delve into a theme that resonates profoundly with this time and season: the growing generational gap, improved multi-generational future. Today, we celebrate the power of design to unite us and foster environments that transcend the boundaries of age and time. We've talked about Gen Z. Some call themselves the millennial. Some we called old school. I don't even know which of this group I belong to. But one thing I am sure of is that I am a young woman, because I will continue to be young at heart. As we converge here today in the vibrant heart of Lagos, we are united by our shared love for design and our collective commitment to fostering environments that embrace the richness of diverse generational perspectives. Our gathering today is not just a celebration of design, but a call to action to utilize our creative talents to bridge the gaps that exist between generations. By doing so, we can create more harmonious and inclusive communities where everyone feels valued and understood. Design is more than an aesthetic endeavor. It is a profound medium through which we communicate, connect, and coexist. It is a language that speaks to our senses, emotions, and intellect, capable of transcending generational barriers and fostering understanding. Through thoughtful design, we keep creating environments that encourage interaction, respect, and collaboration among people of all ages. Interior design, in particular, has the unique ability to shape the way we live and interact, making it a crucial tool in our quest to bridge generational divides. I've seen people telling me that no matter the level, the class of hotel that they give them when they go outside, they don't find that peace, that tranquility like them sleeping in their own bedroom. What is the difference? The way their bedroom has been designed. Dear esteemed listeners, the theme of today's event, Bridging Generations, Designing a Multi-Generational Future, points to an inherent challenge: the communication gap between different age groups. This gap, if unaddressed, can lead to misunderstandings, isolation, and the loss of valuable knowledge and experience. However, design offers us to address and overcome these challenges. By creating spaces that encourage dialogue and interaction, we can facilitate greater understanding and cooperation between generations, ensuring that the wisdom of the past is not lost and the energy of the youth is harnessed effectively. Inclusive design practices are essential in creating environments where all generations can thrive together.
This approach ensures that spaces are not only accessible, but also welcoming to people of all ages. There are instances that you go to some buildings and you find it difficult to access by persons with disabilities, elderlies, at times people who have young children. For instance, incorporating features such as wide doorways, non-slip flooring, and comfortable seating can make a space more accessible to the elderly while also benefiting young families with children. By considering the diverse spaces that encourage collaboration and social interaction, we can build stronger, more cohesive communities where knowledge and experiences are shared across generations. Each generation brings unique perspectives, skills, and wisdom. By designing spaces that encourage interaction, we not only bridge the gap, but also celebrate the richness of our collective experiences. It is through these interactions that we can learn from the past, innovate in the present, and inspire future generations. We called somewhere our quarters in Abeokuta. I was a legislator before I became a commissioner. I was in the House of Assembly for 8 years, and our quarters is called Legislative Quarters. If you still get to that quarters today, it was built around 1979, 1980. You'll be shocked when you get there that it still conforms to today's design. That is thinking out of the box, building, something for generations to come. Incorporating elements of traditional design alongside modern innovations can create a sense of continuity and respect for cultural heritage, while also fostering creativity and forward thinking. Incorporating and forward thinking, imagine a community center that features architectural details inspired by local heritage, drums, carvings, such as color schemes, materials that reflect the cultural history of the area. The foundation of familiar elements can be seamlessly integrated with cutting-edge technologies like smart lighting, energy-efficient systems, and adaptive furniture to cater to the diverse needs of different generations. Such a blend not only honors or preserves the cultural legacy, but also engages the younger generation by introducing them to the beauty and significance of their heritage. This approach stimulates creativity. It encourages designers and users alike to find innovative ways to marry the old with the new, creating spaces that are both rooted in tradition and equipped for the future. In a world that is rapidly changing, our designs must be adaptable and resilient. We must consider how spaces can evolve to meet the shifting needs of different age groups over time. This requires a forward-thinking approach that anticipates change and embraces flexibility. There are times that when you design a room for a particular age group, no other person can use that room because while you were designing, all you had in your mind is, this is for this person. Modular furniture and multipurpose rooms can easily be reconfigured, just like we saw when we were being shown the active video. There was a room and there were just, different setting for different class of people to accommodate different activities and age groups, ensuring that our spaces remain functional and relevant as the needs of the community evolve. Sustainable design is inherently linked to the concept of a multi-generational future. By prioritizing sustainability, we ensure that our built environment can support the well-being of generations to come. This commitment to sustainability is not just about preserving resources, but also creating a legacy of responsible and ethical design. For instance, using eco-friendly materials and energy efficient technologies can reduce our environmental impact. We all know how hot it has been. This is all about our environment. And we can use our designs to create healthier living spaces for current and future generations. As interior design professionals, students, architects, and engineers, we have the power to transform communities. By focusing on inclusive design, we can empower individuals, groups to contribute meaningfully to their environment. This empowerment fosters a sense of belonging and purpose, which is essential for a harmonious multi-generational coexistence. Through our work, we can inspire others to see the value of inclusive design and its potential to create more vibrant and connected communities. Education. Education plays a crucial role in bridging the generational gap. By educating young designers about the importance of inclusive practices and the value of intergenerational collaboration, we can ensure that the principles we discuss here today are carried forward into the future. Incorporating intergenerational projects into design curricula of our schools can provide students with practical experience in creating inclusive spaces and foster a deeper understanding of the needs and perspectives of different age groups. Today, I urge each one of us to take up the mantle of responsibility. Let us commit to designing with empathy, sensitivity, and inclusivity to create spaces that not only meet the functional needs of all ages, but also inspire and connect people across generations. By so doing, we can create a future where all generations can live, learn, and thrive together, enriching our communities and our world. Let us remember that our designs today will shape the lives of tomorrow. In conclusion, I want to specially extend my gratitude to the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria. When I saw the name, Aidan, how do they pronounce it? But you are the really Dongongo. Let us live here today inspired and determined to bridge the generational gap through design. Together, we can create a future where all generations can live, learn, and thrive in harmony. As the renowned architect Frank Lloyd Wright once said, the mother art of architecture. Without an architecture of our own, we have no soul of our own civilization. Let us be the architects of an inclusive, multi-generational future that reflects the soul of our diverse and vibrant communities. I thank you most profoundly for your attention. God bless you.
Presentation.
Tell them to play music.
All right. Thank you, Ma, for the keynote speech. It was really intense and well thought out. You pretty much addressed a lot of issues, encouragement, highlighting a lot of aspects of design and architecture. And we just want to say thank you for your time, and we appreciate you being here, being part of this program. God bless you. Can we have light music, please? And while we take a little break, and I know we've been here, I want to apologize again for us starting late due to the rain, traffic, life.
So permit me to introduce the Trade Week Awards. This is a new initiative that we're just starting this year's Trade Week, and we decided that it would be nice to celebrate the best of design. These categories aim to capture the essence of this year's World's Interiors Day theme, emphasizing the importance of intergenerational collaboration, respect for heritage, and building a better future through design and innovation. So the first category is the Founders Lifetime Achievement Award. The Founders Life Achievement Award recognizes the designer's lasting impact and contribution to the association, honoring their vision and leadership that laid the foundation for this organization's success. The recipient of this award, there are no nominees in this category, and is none other than Mrs. Muni Shonibare, the founder of Ayo Furniture. Okay. So the next category is Legacy Continuum. The Legacy Continuum Award is the category recognizes individuals or projects that successfully carry forward a rich heritage or tradition while adapting to contemporary needs, ensuring a lasting legacy for future generations. We have nominees, Mr. Achinovu Okarafo of Opoto Designs, Mr. Anderson Edewo of C Consulting, and Mr. Abiodun Shonibare of Shift Lag. So the unique thing about this award is because it's a new initiative, we're announcing the nominees now, and we're going to carry on the whole process throughout the year. And members have the opportunity to vote for who they want the winner to be. So we're introducing this awards categories, and we hope that we continue this throughout Trade Week in the coming years. Next category, we have the Future Awards. The Future Award honors designs or initiatives that promote unity, collaboration, and understanding across different generations, fostering a harmonious and inclusive future. The shortlisted recipient of this award is Mrs. Ifeinwa Igodalo. Let me explain this Future Awards quite for a bit. While we were having the panel discussion, a lot of people said, oh, I started from this company, I started from this. And when we looked around the industry and the members, we found that a lot of members, maybe more than 10 or 15% of membership, especially top designers in our association, come from certain companies and organizations. They've trained them either through internship, work experience, and even the founder has worked with Mrs. Igodalo of GO2 designs at some point. Mrs. Munishonimbara has also come up quite a lot of times today as someone who has mentored and taken people under her wings and groomed designers from scratch and built, say, a whole industry around their visions and their dreams, and then considering the next generation as well. So the Future Award is similar in that we're recognizing that effort. Then we have the Bridge Builders category. This award recognizes individuals, organizations that actively work to bridge generational divides, fostering connections, understanding, and collaboration for a more united future. The nominees for this category, we have Tomi Bangbelu Olatunbode of Spazio Ideale. We have Mr. Bayo Adalemo of Design Protocol, and we have Morenike Molei of Oak Antique Interiors. And these people are known to have worked with multi-generational teams, especially the younger ones. They've come up with different initiatives from some that I can mention, like Design Protocol came up this year with work called primary school pupils to work in his design studio for a day. And that is some exemplary initiative to bring the younger generation into the design industry and carry them along. We have someone like Mrs. Morenike Molei, who organized Grow with Rennie this year, and that she's very passionate about Gen Z members of the society and designers as well. We have Tomi Bangbelu, who runs a tech interior design company, and she has a lot of young people working in her team, and she's also opened up a Dubai branch of the company. So these are the nominees, very strong contenders, and we'd like the members to vote and look into their different initiatives and vote for the winners. The next category we have the Yetunde Ogomenyo Memorial Award. Last year, we held, during Trade Week, we held a similar award in memory of one of our members. She was a member of the Education Committee back then, and she passed away about 3 years ago. And in memory of her, we started an award category called Yetunde Ogomenyo Memorial Award for students. Unfortunately, we're in between sessions, and the school said we should give them till September or end of the session but it's meant to recognize the top 3 students with the best CGPAs in interior design or architecture schools. So we're looking forward to awarding those students. But for this year, we would like to recognize years of service and dedication of employees or volunteers who have worked with the association for a considerable amount of time. A shortlisted nominee for this year, Ms. Ifeoluwa David. She's the outgoing IDAN administrator. And when we're having the awards, we're looking forward to appreciating her for working with IDAN for 9 years. Most of you would know Ms. Ifeoluwa David from your applications into the association. She has worked diligently and relentlessly for the progress of the association. The next award we have Generational Fusion. This category celebrates projects or individuals that skillfully blend traditional elements with modern innovations, creating a harmonious fusion of past, present, and future design aesthetics. A shortlisted nominee is Mrs. Agatha Eric Udori of Agatha's Interiors and Past Ventures. The next category is Timeless Connections. This category highlights designs or initiatives that establish enduring connections between generations, cultures, or design styles. In this case, someone that has mixed design styles timelessly and emphasizing the importance of continuity and shared value. The shortlisted nominee is Mrs. Annette Ibru of Dream Trading Co. So these are announced categories for the shortlist, and we're looking forward to an award ceremony that really celebrates and highlights these aspects of multi-generational design. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. So I think at this point, we can round up.
No,
Okay,
we're
not yet.
almost to the last thing. If you have the brochure with you, you see where the part where you see why join IDAN. Please, how many of us here are registered members of IDAN?
Wow. Okay.
So I have
Very good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I assume we have about, from my counting, we have about over 40 people still remaining in the room right now, and we have just 6, registered members. So, which means most of us are just looking from the outside, which shouldn't be. And there is a lot of benefit. I used to be like that as well. I was watching from the outside, just making assumptions. Why there are people, passionately working to drive the association, forward, innovative thinking, organizational thinking, making sure that, look, there's a body that, caters to interior designers, just like any other profession. You have virtually almost all the professions, they have their own, registered or legal bodies that caters to its members. Interior designers, we don't, and that's why, IDAN has been set up for the past 17 years right now. And, the industry is just growing, and there's a lot of progress being made, especially in the last 10 years. Most people are now, recognizing and respecting interior designers as a professional career. And, for us to be able to forge ahead, we need to move as a unit. And, because people won't respect you if you are just by yourself. And I'm sure most of us will go through a lot of experiences with clients, with people we work with. And, we had an incident recently where a client locked up an interior designer, took, her all the way to Kuje prison. And stuff like that, a lot happens. There are a lot of designers with lawsuits right now in courts and all of those things. See, it's because you are alone, and that is why most of all these things are happening to you. But if you join a body where you join a fellowship where you have people, even if it's not everybody, you can reach out to people, you can reach out to the secretariat, and somebody will be appointed to see to your case. So there's a lot of benefits why you need to be a member of IDAN, and I'm imploring everybody today. I would have loved to list what is here, but I think it would just be like a formal thing to do. I really want us to be part of IDAN, because there's no way we will be respected if we are not moving as a body. We need to move as one unit, so that in case anything happens in terms of the benefits, the CPDs, sharing of knowledge, teachings, people sharing their experience, people that are more established, people that have handled a lot of projects both in and outside the country, they can always, pull upcoming members up, be able to mentor you, be able to share their experience, even beyond just design, their organizational, structure, experience, how you can run your business profitably. Because I know a lot of us are getting projects, but then it's not profitable. I'm sure I'm right on that. You get all those projects where it looks like, a form of blessing, but it turns out into, let me not say, a curse, but it's because of inexperience, running a profitable design company. You need to be able to meet people, get mentored, talk about different issues that affect us daily. And that is why IDAN is here, for you to, get that association, that fellowship, to learn from people, to share your own experience, to move this industry forward as a unit. Like I said, what we are trying to do now is beyond all of us. Some of us will, transit into other careers, we grow older. But, there are a lot of people looking up to be interior designers. There are a lot of people looking at some established designers here, and they want to be a designer just because of you, because of what they see, your projects, your posts on Instagram. They want to be an interior designer. So IDAN is the perfect umbrella for every interior designer. So I will want us to make a commitment today. And I mean, before you leave here,
No, they will.
to join IDAN. So while we're having our refreshments, I think we have a stand there for registration where you drop your name and everything. Or you can also visit the secretariat at Dolphin Estate, because once you pay, you're part of the group where information is shared. We have all these beyond what is here in Nigeria, all our trade partners and all of those partners that we have. They are also global partners, being able to be led directly, joining design schools. Some of us here is just the passion that we have. Some of us are not, they've not been to a design school, apart from the ones that learn architecture or, urban and regional planning or architecture related courses. So we'll be able to guide you through your journey, being part of IDAN, being a certified professional. And, that's one reason why you need to join IDAN. For trade discounts, look at most of all the latest technologies in furniture design, in interior design, automation in interior designs. This, you can always get professionals to work with to make your projects easy and smooth. You have people you can call on and say, oh, please, I have these projects. I need this person. Please recommend somebody, a trustworthy professional to me. And, for the validation as well, the body is working on making IDAN a legal body. Yes, we are a registered body, but we're working, with the government. And thank God for the honorable commissioner that is part of us. I'm sure we'll be able to pull her into this, race for IDAN to be, registered as a legal body. Resources, recommendation. You can't grow your business just by your own. That's what I'm trying to say. You need to be part of us. So please, make that commitment today. Drop your informations or visit the IDAN Secretariat at the Dolphin Estate Plaza, and definitely somebody will be there to attend to you and receive your documents and have you registered. So thank you again for giving us your precious time to be part of this event today. We hope to see more of you. There are a lot of other programs that, and make sure you're following IDAN on Instagram, idan.ng, for every necessary information that pertains to the design industry. If you're not following right now, I think you should just pull out your phone and follow IDAN on Instagram. We share a lot of information in there, and you can always get the latest of information as regards to IDAN. I believe the president has something to say.
All right, so thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in IDAN. So all the Gen Zs in the house, I think we should all come out and take a picture so that if you don't register, we recognize you on the road. So after that, then we can now go for the break. So for all those who were nominated for the awards, would have a proper award ceremony where we will now announce the winners and the nominees. So congratulations to all the nominees. So I think at this point, we can call it a day. Let's network. If you meet me outside, let's take a picture, let's say hi, and let's have fun. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and if it's possible, we'll take a group picture, like everybody in the house. Can we do it here or here?
Photographer, can you just help us? Where are they? Let's take pictures. Thank you. All right, guys, please, can we just come down? Gen Z's, come down. Thank you. If you're a Gen Z, come down. Let's be together. If you're not a Gen Z, you can sit down. Yes, just the original Gen Zs. Yes, want to take a good picture. So I think it's better. Some people can, or we all stand. Yes, everyone. It's possible.
Yes, possible. Some people will sit, some people will stand.
It's
More
fine.
people stand.
No, it's fine. So let's come and organize. So let's do that. We'll take with the commissioner too.
One of the sponsors, they want to give.
Hello.
How now? When did you
Gen Z. I've been here now.
Are you serious?
He's been here.
I think you were here.
I've been here. We are Gen Z. Let's snap.
We didn't take pictures.
My name is C Consulting, not C Interiors.
All right, please let's come forward. Let's just do that very quickly, and we round up for the day.
We need to blow
Yeah, no, this one
you.
doesn't
To blow. Okay, calm down, everyone. We still have old people there. Okay, so we can do that. Where? Okay.
Where's the sponsor? Thank you so much, ma, for coming. Want to take on the stage? Oh, so we'll have you sit. Take picture with you. Thank you, ma.
We join you.
All right, please come up, please. Please let's come up. Let's make it snappy. Just we can come by the stairs.
I bring it. Okay.
The photographer, please can you help us out? Just okay. Maybe not so tall people in front. I don't want to say short. Just oh, okay. No, well, I don't think so. We just
I'm not sure.
please. We need some people to move to this, especially the taller ones, please. Just no. We need to move. Yeah. So once it's too full, then we can get some people to the front. Then you just need to.
I'm even thinking of this thing.
Can I have? Do you want to say? Sure. Go ahead. I hope you have your mandate. Okay, I guess if you are representing agency, maybe you need to sit right in front. So no.
Come on, TV. Come on.
After the picture, I identify as
Ever After the picture, just
Uh, uh, Wait, the people standing there should join us. Yeah, everybody, please, and both of you, please join.
One of our sponsors wants to present an outdoor lounge chair to a special guest. Furniture Square, please can you come? They are outdoor VIP lounge sponsors, and they also supplied us these chairs that we sat down on for, and the lounge outside. So we can all go outside to have our food, but can we present? So it's an Italian brand lounge. Oh wow. Nice. And I'll definitely organize how to get it to Abeokuta. Everyone, you can have lunch outside at the outdoor amphitheater. There's food, fresh juice, and drinks. No, it's okay. Thank you very much.
I wanted to introduce myself. I nipped out.
God. Auntie, let him